Hello and welcome to our channel, where we bring you the most explosive breaking news and in-depth analysis from around the globe, cutting through the noise to deliver the facts that matter. Today, on December 30th, 2025, we're diving into a bombshell exclusive that's sending shockwaves through international relations. The CIA has conducted its first known drone strike inside Venezuela, targeting a coastal port facility linked to drug trafficking. According to multiple sources cited by CNN, the New York Times, and Reuters, this covert operation earlier in December marked a dramatic escalation in the Trump administration's aggressive campaign against Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and associated criminal networks. President Trump himself has all but confirmed the strike, boasting about destroying a big facility where drugs are loaded onto boats. This move crosses a red line, from strikes on vessels in international waters to direct attacks on Venezuelan soil, raising fears of heightened tensions, potential retaliation, and even broader conflict in Latin America. Buckle up as we unpack the details, the context, the players involved, and what this could mean for the future of U.S.-Venezuela relations. The story broke late on December 29th when CNN published an exclusive report corroborated by outlets like the New York Times and Reuters, revealing that the CIA executed a precision drone strike on a remote dock along Venezuela's coastline. Sources familiar with the operation described the target as a facility believed to be used by the notorious Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, one of the most violent transnational criminal organizations, to store narcotics and transfer them onto boats for smuggling routes heading north. Importantly, no one was present at the site during the strike, resulting in 0 casualties, but the facility and any dock boats were reportedly destroyed. One source called a success in disrupting operations, but largely symbolic, as traffickers have numerous such sites across the coast. The attack went largely unnoticed in real time, even within Venezuela, highlighting the covert nature of the mission. President Trump appeared to acknowledge the strike in comments that initially flew under the radar. In a radio interview on December 26, he referenced knocking out a big facility where ships come from as part of his anti-drug efforts. Then, on December 29th, while welcoming Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago, Trump was pressed by reporters and elaborated, "We hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement, and that is no longer around." He described a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs, but dodged questions about whether it was a military or CIA, saying only, "I know exactly who it was, but I don't want to say." This aligns perfectly with the reported CIA drone operation, marking the first confirmed U.S. strike on Venezuelan territory. To understand how we got here, let's rewind to the broader campaign. Since early September 2025, the Trump administration has unleashed a series of lethal strikes on over 30 suspected drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean, killing more than 100 people according to official tallies, though critics label many as civilians or fishermen. These maritime operations were framed as a counter-narcotics imperative, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth comparing drug traffickers to the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere and vowing to hunt them with the same precision used against terrorists. Trump also imposed a blockade on sanctioned Venezuelan oil tankers, choking Maduro's revenue streams, and built up a massive U.S. military presence in the region, including warships and thousands of troops. But the inland strike represents a quantum leap. Earlier this year, Trump expanded CIA authority for operations in Latin America, explicitly including Venezuela, allowing covert lethal actions that the regular military couldn't legally conduct on foreign soil without congressional approval. In October, Trump publicly confirmed authorizing CIA activities there, citing migration from Venezuelan prisons and drug flows as justifications. Administration insiders have varied explanations. Some emphasize stopping narcotics, while Chief of Staff Susie Wiles reportedly said the boat strikes were designed to make Maduro cry uncle. Maduro, indicted in the U.S. on narco-terrorism charges, has shown no signs of buckling, denouncing U.S. actions as imperial aggression aimed at seizing Venezuela's vast oil reserves. The target gang, Tren de Aragua, has become a focal point, originating in Venezuelan prisons. It's expanded into a brutal transnational syndicate involved in extortion, kidnapping, and trafficking, both drugs and humans. U.S. officials accuse it of deep ties to the Maduro regime, though intelligence assessments reportedly question the extent of those links. By hitting a facility allegedly used by the gang, the strike blends counter-narcotics with political pressure, signaling that the U.S. is willing to go ashore to dismantle networks seen as propping up Maduro. Reactions have been swift but muted so far. The CIA, White House, and Pentagon declined comment, while Venezuela's government has not publicly acknowledged the incident, perhaps to avoid appearing weak or escalating. Special Operations Command denied involvement, including intel support. Internationally, the move echoes Cold War-era CIA interventions in Latin America, raising alarms about sovereignty and potential blowback. Legal experts debate the authority. Maritime strikes were justified under armed conflict precedents, but land attacks inside a sovereign nation without declaration of war tread into murky territory, potentially violating international law. This escalation fits Trump's playbook: bold, unilateral actions to project strength on drugs, migration, and adversaries. With no casualties and low visibility, it allows deniability while sending a clear message. The pressure campaign is intensifying and Maduro's options are dwindling. Analysts warn of risks. Maduro could rally domestic support by portraying it as Yankee imperialism, arm proxies for retaliation, or deepen alliances with Russia, China, or Iran. On the flip side, if it disrupts trafficking flows, it bolsters Trump's domestic narrative on border security and crime. As 2025 draws to a close, this CIA strike underscores a new phase in U.S. foreign policy toward Latin America, more assertive, CIA-led, and unapologetic. Will it force concessions from Maduro, spark wider conflict, or fade as another symbolic jab? The world is watching closely, with implications for regional stability, drug wars, and great power competition. Thank you for joining us for this urgent breakdown. This story is developing rapidly. Stay tuned for updates. What do you make of this escalation? Is it justified counter-narcotics or dangerous overreach? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if you want more coverage, subscribe for real-time alerts, and share to spread the word. Until next time, stay informed and vigilant.